want to bring in Rajdeep Sardesai as well as Adil Singh Bopurai back into this conversation. Adil, the fact is, right now both TMC, the Aam Aadmi Party is going to town saying Congress is equal to BJP. We told you so, yet Goa voted for these men who have now jumped ship.
Well,
or in the process of jumping ship.
Firstly, Preeti, the BJP is brimming with arrogance. Mr. Sardesai has seen more political seasons than all of us put together, and he would perhaps second that the shoe will be on the other foot, because that's the nature of politics. What the BJP is doing today, the shoe will be on the other foot. Nobody remains in power forever. Pick up any country, pick up any political party. The problem today is that they are destroying democracy. They are burying democracy. They are misusing agencies. Ask any person walking on the street. Ask him dispassionately and he will tell you that agencies are...
that's a very easy excuse, and I'll bring in Rajdeep into this conversation. Okay,
I can give you examples, illustrations. Digambar, Kamat, ED probe, Louis Berger. What happened to the allegations against Hemanta Sharma? What happened to the allegations against Mukul Roy?
Can I answer that?
There was a Supreme Court ruling in the Uttarakhand case. What happened in Karnataka? What is 17 ED notices? I hope the ED will now follow through the ED investigation against the Shinde MLAs. Will they follow through those investigations?
No, fair point. Okay. Fair point. Okay, I'll bring in Rajdeep. Sir, RP Singh, I know you want to come in, but there is this washing machine effect which the Congress and your other opposition parties keep talking about. They have these cases against them, which are various central agencies cases. In the recent past, we've seen the ED, and the minute they join your camp, then they all come out clean. The cases go cold.
Then why do they give ticket to such people at the first stage? They do the selection of such people when they give ticket to such people from their party to contest. So when they are in their party, it's okay. When they join BJP, oh, then ED is pressurizing. There's an easy way out. And today it's not only Digambar Kamat, there are more people. I've been told 11 people escaped the meeting today. If you want me to read the name, you want me to read, give me a second. You want me to read the name? Kedar Naik, Rajesh Falaswa, Yuri Alamo, Alatona De Costa, big list. People who went for the party meeting also. So all of them are facing ED charges. And then, sir, Mr. Rajdeep Sardesai is a very seasoned person, but we have also worked in party and politics from last 45.5 years. And then parties doesn't work on basis of ED pressure. I mean, we work on ideologies. We work on party functions on regular working. It's not that you wake up one morning, do some lecturing, go and do some speeches, and then come back and go for a holiday.
RP Singh, no, we are not saying, we are not insinuating that parties are acting under pressure, but what I really did do was, over the course of the last 3-4 days, when this charge has been constantly leveled by the opposition, in the last 6 months, RP Singh, all the opposition leaders which your party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, has taken, save one, there has been no interrogation, no investigation, forget about arrest, any of the leaders that have been taken in who had cases which were hot before the BJP took these leaders on. We can put that list through, but, it's just, I'm just putting out the facts and the data that are out there. I want to bring in Rajdeep Sardesai back into this conversation.
Rajdeep says, can I share the reality?
So I'll come back to you. Would you give me a minute? Give me a minute. So I'll come back to you. I promise. I want to bring in Rajdeep Sardesai back into this conversation. Rajdeep, the fact is, what Adil is saying, what the Congress says, it's the ED heat, it's money power, muscle power. Now the fact is, it is the Congress's foot which is most vulnerable.
It is a mix of various factors. Let's be honest. Mr. Lobo, when he was in the BJP, the Congress made serious corruption charges against him. And just a few months before the election, because they saw him as someone who could get them 4 or 5 key seats in North Goa, brought him into the party. Mr. Digambar Kamat faces these charges at a time when he was the Congress Chief Minister of Goa. These charges have continued since then. So it's not as if the Congress also doesn't go into the situation with its eyes open. The fact is, corruption in states like Goa, defection Raj in states like Goa has been normalized. Mr. RP Singh is mentioning ideology. What ideology when more than 30 of the 40 BJP candidates who contested this election in Goa were people who had come from other parties? They had not come from the BJP. They came from other parties. The BJP was more than willing. The BJP in Goa, as I call it, is a Congress-yukt BJP. It has, most of its leaders have come to it from the Congress party. So there is no ideology there. This is purely about the principle of power. You break a party, to make yourself stronger. The Congress today is more vulnerable because the Congress is simply out of power. It's not as if, as I said, the Congress, when it was in power, did not break the smaller parties. In the first 5 years of Goa's independence, from 1987 to 92, we had 5 chief ministers in Goa. So the Congress was very vulnerable in those days to internal power struggles. The BJP, to be fair, is less vulnerable to internal power struggles, but the BJP, because at the moment in Goa there's a battle between Pramod Sawant and Vishwajit Rane, who himself has come from the Congress. Mr. Sawant is now using these defectors to strengthen himself. So the BJP is more than willing to take in defectors, and the BJP is more than willing to use agency power at times to intimidate rivals to join them. That it goes without say. I mean, Mr. R.P. Singh can say what he wants. That is the reality.
R.P. Singh, quickly, you wanted to come in for a rebuttal. Go ahead, sir.
I strongly deny, and I'm not okay with what Mr. Sardesai is saying, that we use ED power or any other power. If Mr. Sardesai, you are a very learned journalist and you have a lot of influence also, please, next time when you speak with some evidence.
But he didn't say that.
Put vague
Look, I am saying, all I am saying is that there are many people in Goa, sir, who have cases against them, who the moment they switch to the BJP, those cases seem to disappear.
Okay, go ahead. R.P. Singh, quickly, and then I'll close the show.
Mr. Sardesai, there are cases against you also, but you never switch over to BJP. I mean, leave that aside. So
because I've got nothing to hide. Because I've got nothing to hide. The day you have something against me, I must join you. I have nothing to hide, sir.